to get into sport, especially this is people need to understand. This is a very tough sport, especially for a woman. And to have a passion for it. You took those time off and to what was the 9 years for while you were off?
Well, I am a law enforcement officer. So
Whoa,
I
whoa, 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 you 5'0"? Hey, if I saw you stop me, I say, hey, you can check me anytime. Oh, damn! This is not the you're not the. I had quite a few ladies who work in law enforcement, and some of them are very attractive, like yourself. I mean, well, I mean, you can hit me with the billy club anytime. But
another
okay,
part
go,
of
yeah.
my officer was that song that used to play by Little Wayne, I think it was.
Mrs.
So
Officer.
but I started in Miami, my career in 2008. Um, I've been in law enforcement for 16 years. I was a detective in Miami, and I, I took a long 9 years. I got married and divorced, had my son, and it helped. Bodybuilding actually they call it a selfish sport. I tend to disagree because the culture is so like we're all very supportive of each other. Yes, you take time for yourself and you have to dedicate to your eating, and you can't really, when you're in prep, you can't go out, you can't drink, but that doesn't mean you can't go out and hang out. You just can't do certain things. You got to be disciplined. And I think law enforcement helps being a disciplined person and having a regimen and a consistency, because if you're not consistent on the road, that's when somebody gets hurt. And complacency, it just all kind of goes hand in hand. It helps, but I had my son, and it helped get through my divorce back in 2018, and it was a driving force for me. And I said, I want to get back on stage. I missed it.
Yeah, I've often said that bodybuilding has helped some women's lives, especially if they're going through something like mental, physical abuse, sometimes food addiction, or just basically they were athletic when we were younger and just they needed something to do because sometimes like I used to play football in high school and now look at me. I mean I was a big kid
I
then, but not as big.
Offense or defensive line?
I was either they switch me up either war. Sometimes be offense, sometimes be defense. I was a left tackle on offense and also sometimes on defense.
I'm a
I hmm, hmm,
so I'm a
what?
huge fan, so
Oh yeah, she's just you guys. She's pretty and she likes football. So that's if you get that woman, you better. I don't know what was the deal with your man's head while he left you. I don't say the police part because police are never very popular. But here thing is, even though in our community we're not as very prevalent for the police, but we do appreciate the service you provide for us that we need it at the time.
we're,
Can you talk about the police? But we need
there's
it. Hmm?
lots of us. There's very few.
Yeah. I know it's a tough job, and you understand. But yeah, offense like this is a sport that really is a community. Everybody gets together, everybody supports each other. But yeah, there's some people in mindset that is kind of selfish. They have their own agendas. But when you find that support and that help, especially along the way, and like I said, it's tough that you're a mom, you have a job, you have a career, and you get into sport. So what was that like the first time we competed?
Oh, I was nervous. I felt like, you always feel this way, but you felt like you weren't ready. You looked at your competition. Oh my God, am I not big enough? Am I not lean enough? Am I not ready? Do my poses? It's just so many feelings going through your head. You're just super nervous. So, like, there's so many things. I
Yeah.
can't, like, I remember getting on stage and, you're disappointed. You always want to win. You have that personality, you want to win, and you don't, well, you revisit it. You got to have a good outlook on it.
Yeah, because that's the thing is everybody wants to be that top star when you get into the sport, but it's a tough sport, and you have to come in with everything to put together. Because most people understand with bodybuilding, everybody think of it as like you take steroids, you get big, get buff. No, that's only a small factor to the sport. You have to train, be consistent, diet, everything that's involved in it, and if people understand that more, maybe be more acceptable. Bodybuilding is not as popular because there's always going to be that use of because everybody uses the performance enhancers, but almost every sport says performance enhancers. It's just not something new. We have here man KL the Wanderer. He also does content. He says hello there, brother, and also he says. How long you been competing? Well, she competing for at least since 2008 to 2009. She took time off, so that's at least about I would say
seven
10,
7 years altogether, 8.
yeah,
Uh,
7, 8 years altogether. And he also says, what division she actually, if you came in early and paid attention to it, she actually was in two divisions. You started out in figure originally, right?
yes, that's my baby. Yeah, I figure.
Yeah. And then in North Americans, you did two classes in women's physique. Why
Yeah.
did because I know a lot of competitors do the double dip every now and then. Why did you decide to do
Um,
that?
I I've actually grew to love it. I competed in nationals in Orlando in I'm sorry, I can't remember. I think it was 2021, and when nationals before I got moved to Texas, and I just sat in the audience and I watched physique, women's physique, and I said I always thought women's physique was closer, I mean, to bodybuilding, and I was like, well, that's not for me. Heels, I love the whole part of the heels and the woman like being feminine, but then I saw certain competitors that were beautiful and their routines were amazing, and I was like, they're super feminine. It just something about it was like, I love it. I actually took on to it and I said I want to try that, and I didn't try it. I still did Olympia amateur in 23. I only did figure. um so I said to myself, I go, well, I'm going to try it. And when I started practicing for it and posing for it, I grew like a special place in my heart. And I was like, I really like it. I think it's beautiful. You can make it your own kind of thing. So,
hmm Yeah, the sport has evolved because I've been following bodybuilding for a long time, and it has evolved. When it first started, there was men's bodybuilding, then women's bodybuilding. Then
correct.
fitness came along, then figure. Truthfully, bikini was more like it was brought in. It didn't really spun off like
Yeah.
the other divisions. Wellness was kind of brought in, and physique was kind of spun off because they wanted the more feminine look. They wanted to get away because the women were getting bigger and more developed. But that's the thing is, it's about the evolution of the athlete. Like you look at how football started. You used to wear um, the pigskin helmets, and then they get the now you have guys wearing concussion protocol helmets. I mean, everything changes. It's not going to stay the same as it was. Here we got a comment from my man KL. He says this. He says, "I would like to put you in a movie called Bad Girls since you was a Miami cop." Oh yeah, who if you get a movie like that, who would you like to be your co-star? Who would you be
Oh,
more? Would you be more of the Martin Lawrence or be more of the Will Smith?
I love them both. The last one, I would say Martin Lawrence was hilarious. I, I don't know. I'm torn because I've been watching them since I was a young girl, both between Fresh Prince and Martin. I mean,
Martin.
come
Oh
on.
yeah, yeah. Martin. Martin was I loved that show as a kid. I used to.
I,
One of my personalities is Jerome, the player from the Himalayas. And see, you're a fine little thing there, and you're a cop too. You could put me in anything. Jerome. Yeah, that is Martin was. I love that show. It was great. Remember the episode when he thought his CD when Brother Man took his CD player, he thought somebody else did it, and then he had the fake dog. He based it on New Jack
he
City.
rolls. I love when he plays Shanae too. I mean,
Shanae, can't forget Mr. Otis. I mean, I think he did like there's one guy called I think he only did that guy once. Said, "Don't you know no good? Don't you know no good?" I mean, it's crazy. I love Martin. I mean, me Will Smith and after that Chris Rock thing, I'm kind of like but yeah. So back to what got you because you was in 2023. That's the last time you competed at the in figure for at the amateur Olympias. That was the last time I was in um Orlando because it's
I
going to be back in Vegas.
I did Hurricane the MPC slash IFBB Hurricane Pro in Tampa before that.
Mm-hmm.
I played first in my class in figure. So
Mm-hmm. And then what was the decision that who's your coach, and when you make the decision to switch from the double dip to do both figure and physique?
that was a joint effort there. She's awesome. I love her to pieces. I've been with her now since I came back in 2018. She took me on. Somebody kind of, I had somebody overseeing me as a coach was trying to get me back into it. And then kind of last minute before I was supposed to compete, kind of just disappeared on me. And I went to her for posing and she took me on. She is a pro herself. She's an old school pro, but she still looks phenomenal. Jill Dearman, she's out of West Palm. She means a lot to me. She, I'm sorry, I get emotional, but she, she gave me the confidence. My first coach told me that I wasn't cut out for this sport and I wasn't symmetrical. And she always believed in me. She is like, I don't know what they saw, but you have wonderful legs. We'll build where we need to build. She never gave up on me. She always told me, "You will be a pro. I promise." And I know she's proud of me, and she
Mm-hmm.
has high aspirations for me.
Yeah.
Always, she always has.
Yeah. So she was your Mick to your Rocky.
She was
Like
tough. She's
yeah,
tough on
she made
those
you.
days, those, and I was working night shifts on this prep. So
Yeah.
12-hour night shifts on this prep. This has by far been the hardest prep for me. And she never gave up on me. She was like, get in there, put your head down, get in there. I know you're tired. My legs felt like spaghettis. I mean, it's just, it was so much. I was tired and I felt like a zombie going into the gym. And I was like, I gotta do this. I'm so close. And I wanted it that bad. I've never wanted anything. And I told myself, I'm going to do it. And I'm that type of person. I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it.
So like as my other guy would say, you are a woman of your word. Oh, and before I go, Stephanie, I want to tell you something. You are beautiful. I'm sorry about him. I don't know. He gets excited when he gets to see you ladies. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that is it's tough, to raise a kid, to work and to train. And she's still competing, or she's
No, retired. She just coaches lifestyle stuff. She also has plenty competitors. She has a pro that she just competed in the Tampa Pro. She's too. She looks great. She has a bikini pro. She has several under her belt. She's great. I love her.
well.
So
If you're ever interested, I wouldn't mind doing an interview because I don't get enough to talk to a lot of the coaches. Mostly it's a lot of the competitors, But I'm trying to be in the content maker. Me want to span a little more. I've talked to some guys who do photography, some other people here and there. But yeah, I wouldn't mind getting a hand on the coach like herself if you're interested in maybe talking to. Just let her know. So
the old school, you
yeah,
know, she
yeah.
competed. She still looks fabulous. I mean, she looked great then. She looks great now still. So
Yeah. Here you got a comment from a man, KL. He says this. He says, Otis was my guy. It should have been a spin-off movie between him and Jerome. That would have been cool. Also, he asked you this. He says, do you like leg day as your favorite workout? So that's the question. What is that workout that? What's your least and favorite workout?
ooh, I do love legs. However, it's like that day where you have to get in there and do it. Once you get it, I mean, you feel great. But my favorite is back and shoulders. That's my
Mhm.
favorite. Is
It's
the
usually
work.
favorite. Yeah, it's usually favorite for like figure girls because that's the thing you want to work on your back. You want those round cap delts. You want that broadness. You want that taper. It's kind of like figures are like that division. Like it's in between physique and women's bodybuilding, and it spun off from fitness because
Older categories. Actually, it
yeah,
was one of the got in first.
yeah. because it actually spent off from fitness because all the ladies didn't want to do and jump around chicken sweat. So and it's just they say let's cut that out and just let y'all stand in high heels and just look presentable. Here also, this is from my man uh uh KL. He says this is do your family or friends support you in your shows? So like you last competed at the North Americans. Was anybody with you? Any family members?
No, unfortunately not. My parents are very supportive. They actually had to stay back to take care of my son who's in school. As far as that goes, they understood the days that I needed to get in there and get in the gym, and they're I can't ask for better parents. They do take my son, and they know how important this is to me. My dad didn't always see it. My dad's old school, the muscles on women. He's old school. So but he does appreciate the hard work. He knows how hard it is to do this and the diet, and he doesn't always understand it, but my mom's gone to with me to several shows. She just couldn't come this time because she had to take my son to school, but they were
Uh,
watching, so
yeah, and that's good because it's tough, especially for women who get into the sport. And what's your ethnic background? I might guess because it's Herrera,
you want to guess?
Cubana.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in Miami. It's either Cuban, Puerto Rican, or El Salvadorian. It's one of the three. You're in
No,
Miami.
I'm Cuban.
Yeah, I know you're Cuban. So because you think about your father be like, you sound like Tony Montana. Say, hey, my daughter don't have muscles. Okay, okay. Yeah, I don't want my daughter to pump it. I already got a son. I don't need another son. You know. So yeah, I think most people don't think it's for a woman to have muscle. And like I
No,
said, folks, I'm
so
saying
old
this. Yeah,
thinking.
yeah. And this is an attractive woman, and she does have. You can see, even though it's been almost 2 weeks since the North America, she's still in good shape. And even this is the idea that muscles do help because you know what it helps your body, helps especially getting older.
Hmm.
Most people say like, especially the average women say like, I don't want to be like her. I just want to be toned.
Yeah.
But that's the difference.
I cost a lot at the grocery store, and I don't know if you go out doing errands, and from men to women to older ladies, and they're like, what do you do? I want shoulders like that. And you get a lot of compliments. I got somebody else from another gym that was like, hey, would you come and work out at our gym for a day or two? So it's nice. I do get a lot of compliments. A lot of friends like, can you train me? So
Yeah,
they
yeah,
see the hard work. My friends are very supportive.
and it's good. And your son, how old is he?
He just turned 8 in July.
Ah, he's still a baby.
Is. He's
Yeah.
a athlete though. Let me tell you.
Ah,
He
well, you,
plays 4 different sports.
well, you got it from his mother. You're very athletic. Being a bodybuilder. You got to. This is like I said. You have a dedication. I think that rubbed out from you to him. We have here this is from my man Stefan Praise says, "Congratulations on your pro card."
So,
Also, this is from my man K. Ellie says, "A lot of women say they prefer to be toned, but like I said, there's a big difference between toned and being shape." You know.
yes.
So, folks, what we're gonna do here while we have Stephanie, we're gonna jump into her social media for a bit. So, you want to follow her, you want to support her in her path as a competitive bodybuilder, show interest in her. But and this is no offense to you, Stephanie. It's my disclaimer. I say this every time when I do this, guys. No D pics. She's a cop. Come on. They got stuff that we don't know about. He track you down. Hey, you say that because cyberbullying and sexual stuff there's crimes for that. So I don't want to hear somebody, hey, yo, George, I got arrested. What you do? There's all this pretty chick, and she's a cop. I didn't know. I just sent her my shit. But oh God, man, why did you do that?